Hey guys, welcome back to the Elvolve podcast. I nearly said Elvolve retreat. I'm so in retreat mode.
I know.
Where we have interesting and insightful conversations. I'm joined today by the lovely Sedona. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Ellie.
Oh my gosh, it's been the coolest thing to be able to connect with you this week and to get to know you and to watch you and your partner Dakota like be beautiful, incredible, like really intuitive parents to little Army. It's been like the most beautiful I guess representation of something that I'm excited to have like in the near future too.
Yeah, thank you. It's been really fun. I just had my first daughter, Amira, here at our center where Ellie just got to experience our retreat, and so beautiful to see you connect with Ami and just be this like, super auntie and like mommy vibes, and you just knew how to connect with her, and it was really awesome. One, to have you as a woman here, I could feel safe and trust with the baby, and just
thank you.
Yeah,
that's like the biggest privilege as well, right? Like, because I'm totally aware of how protective mamas are over their little babies, and
valid,
of course, totally valid, because they're the most precious little gift, and to have felt that from you, I've like. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
so
I saw
you.
the glow and happiness that Ami got with you. So I was like, I can't, close her energy off. Of course. Heck yeah. Yeah.
So I'm super curious, like, tell me a little bit about you and your story. Like, you're not just a mum, right? No. This is new.
This is a new one.
This is a new identity, right?
This is a big new identity. Yeah.
It's like the craziest transition women go through.
Oh my God. We'll try to put some words to it and who I am. But I am definitely a being of many different versions of Sedona, and recently just becoming a mother is one of them. Born and raised small town Wisconsin, and coming from a space of lots of like toxicity and living in the matrixy world, and maybe not the most conscious way of living, to being a soul who really just kept seeing the good and, being curious of life. I've always been very curious. I've questioned things. I've been very like, I actually flatlined when I was in second grade. So I had asthma really bad. And that was like, I think, a very significant part in my life that made me feel very attuned and connected to things in life and questioning about being more. So it made me want to explore and question the things that didn't feel good in my body. Hence why, I went across country to Arizona State for college. We could say I either wasted a lot of years there, or, this was a really big chapter of my life there. Oh, that was a way different version of Sedona. For those of you who've been following my journey, have seen that, completely Sedona.
What did that look like? What
was
that version of you?
I was a really big gym girl, like super blonde, bleach hair, jacked, like very intimidating to a lot, but also very like not healthy in the ways, like very inflamed. I was going on like the health journey, but it wasn't until I went to my YTT in Costa Rica during the pandemic that just really hit like my physical wisdom of the body into like the more like mind and soul, and really transforming, where I just like let go of everything and like shed, and like the law of detachment, like literally selling everything in my apartment, letting go, packing a suitcase with my dog and saying like, getting the fuck out of here.
Fuck yeah.
Woohoo! And then we moved to Mexico. And I just kept letting like my hair grow out natural, like wearing less, like no makeup, and really connecting just to essence of who I am, like truly. And, as a journey as a woman, like I was on birth control for like so long. So like over 10 years, literally like got put on the pill so young. And this is a part of my journey. I'm bringing this up. It's because when I went to Mexico, like having the deepest like things come out of my body, like literally learning who I am as a woman, like without anything like controlling that. So that has been a really big journey of like coming back into my feminine, because I was really in my masculine for like the longest time. Like really learning the balance of masculine and feminine energies, I think, has been a big like part of my journey and like who I am. And I was really masculine for the longest time. And
was that when you were in like
the gym girl? Yeah. Like I'm talking like Gymshark as like aspiring, wanting like being that influencer girl, like posting all the photos, tagging all the time, like really, really doing my best to like become an athlete with them.
Yeah.
To like throwing all my plastic clothes away and like, you know, no more polyester and things that are harmful for our bodies. And the mindset of some of the fitness industry as well, like was really toxic of just like working out like every day for like 3 hours and just like, you know, focusing on the body so much. So yeah, like
I think so many people like listening to that part of your story, lots of parts. And I just want to dial in on this part.
Let's go in.
Particularly, it's like, I relate to that as well. There was a period of my life where, I mean, do you know what? Fitness was great. Like I remember when I found the gym and I was like, oh, you're meant to take care of your body. Wow. Like I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't really know that. I think growing up I did a lot of like team sports, didn't really do much of gym. And then I found group training. I was like, oh, this is fun. Like this is kind of like, this feels like a team, except, you know, I'm like doing weights and stuff. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So like it was a beautiful thing, while also there was some dark shit that came with it as well.
For sure.
Right? And that's just like, okay, how tiny can I get? How like muscly can I get? Like just always this need to change.
The diets, the food, how many more new programs can I buy? And it's like, oh man, we just gotta go inward, like really go inward to face like, okay, what feels really like a fuck yes in your body? Like we don't actually have to be working out as much. It's more of like our basics that like what movement feels good for your body? Yeah. What makes you also feel like this is fun. Like,
yes,
what's fun for you? Like, not just like, okay, I gotta go to the gym and like move, you know? And it's like, we become robots in it.
Some people that I work with, like some women that I work with that are just, you know, in a way, you know? And I think fun is like such a important part of life, and the more we can inject it into our day-to-day intentionally, just in like what we're doing with our lifestyle, like movement is a beautiful example, like the better.
Yeah. 100%.
So I'm curious, when did the shift start to take place for you, right? So you were in that.
Yeah, okay. So
what happened?
Girl, I went through like,
was it just like boom and then you're like, I need to do yoga? Like
pretty kind of. So it was during the whole pandemic time, and I was like, just got out of college, went for like the study of like the mind, human and family development. So like I really was studying around, like it's fascinating to me, like the impact society we have, like from all of us, you know, like wherever you're coming from and the impact it happens. So that was like my main study. And then I went into personal training, I studied the body. And then as soon as I went to Costa Rica for my YTT is when like I hit this just like boom, like life was just like shed, you know? And like, then I started going into like gut healing, which is a whole nother chapter. And like, that was like a lower place in my life around, like, it was very difficult. I had a lot of like body pain coming through that was like being held in there for years. Like healing like ulcers in my gut. And it was really hard. Like I was just like not wanting to see the light the next day, mentally hard, physically challenging. I was in a relationship that just wasn't in alignment anymore. So I was going through a lot of like level ups. It was like, you know, big entire persona change is coming. So after I went to my YTT, I came back and like decided to leave the relationship, moved, got after it with yoga teacher training. I didn't just go into like a studio that like I wasn't like, okay, like let's get my studio hours and do this. I went all into the fun stuff. Like I did like retreats right away and festivals, and like I was like, fuck yeah, I'm doing this. Like no, like I can do that. Like, you know, like I love holding space, and like I'm not gonna go get locked into like a studio for like hours a week. I want to be like free still, and also like create my life. And it was mixing in with like social media as well and creation. And yeah, so that was a fun chapter. And then it really flourished when I decided to leave the country.
Wow. Like Costa Rica or home?
Went to Mexico. So I left Arizona to go to Mexico, and I lived in Tulum for 2 years, which was like, we love her. We love Tulum.
Oh. God. I haven't been. I always thought I'd go.
Oh my God.
I used to be a party girl.
Yeah, no, same. I had the party chapter, but I wasn't party girl in Tulum. This was like more going in on Sedona and the journey
this is the portal.
Sedona. This is the portal of just like,
oh God,
having the most magical healings and like, going from, like I said, being very masculine in my fitness chapter to like the pendulum swinging to the whole other side of being like super in my femme to healing like the feminine side to like coming into a balance, which is like that was the journey.
What helped you do that? There's so many women in their masculine, and maybe we can explain a little bit about what that is. Being in the masculine is kind of like existing in this energy where you're like, I got to take care of myself, you know, and it's kind of this go hustle culture. Very like it needs to make sense. Having a lot of structure and control. Yeah. Do you have anything else to add to that?
Yeah, I'd love to. For me, it was like when I got to the other side of it, was just like realizing I didn't have trust in the masculine, whether it was like a physical form, like relationships or friends. And I had to have that in myself. And also like God, like the duality of life of like trusting the physical force and the masculine energy that is like, it's always going to have my back, you know? So like we have this control and as women that need to like, we think we need to do like so much more, like make money. And it's like, actually the magic's really slowing down and like the essence inside of our body, like we create life. Like like after that chapter you're just like, okay, like like there's so much that can happen. But with women today, like a lot of us I'm still in my masculine sometimes. Like it's good to have balance, right? Like we need to have structure.
We need to be flowy. We need to be able to access both, right? It makes sense. Like if you're doing business, it's like, of course, I'm going to like step into a little bit more structure and logic and order in that area. And then also, like you said, to be able to like drop in and change pace. Yeah. It's really helpful.
It's not the easiest, but we can get there. You know, it takes the work to just trust and to slow down a little bit. Like you're talking about your boundaries with in the morning, your routines and your nighttime routines, and just like the little things fucking matter. Like it is all in the small things of just like honoring ourselves. Boom.
How did you, so how did that look for you? Like transitioning, like practically, like what changed?
Yeah, it was definitely a big challenge in ways of letting go of control, letting go of what I thought my reality was going to look like. And also like being really open to life around like saying yes to a lot of things I thought I would not say yes to. Nice. So like, you know, random shit was coming up, trying new things, whether it was like my Tantra chapter or, you know, like hosting a lot more new spaces, like literally traveling in Mexico as a woman by herself on like mopeds and just like trusting, you know, and like, like having some interesting situations. But it went from like being in my, like I said, like I went from like masculine to like super my feminine. So with that, it was like masculine was like, every day I had a routine going to the gym, like doing my clients, like whatever, like having so much organization to just like having savings and just trusting, like literally had no plans to like where I was flying, where my Airbnb was, like everything switched before I even like left the country. So it was like really dropping into the unknown.
Cool.
Was, like fully letting go of any type of control.
Was there any kind of like mantra or anything you brought in like into the moment to help you?
Yeah, I definitely have had my chapters of like, you know, high-fiving myself in the mirror and like, you know, being a little delulu and just like fucking creating my reality up here until it would happen. I would say honestly grounding practices. Like I'm a very like just connected to nature, and my Pachamama's always had my back through all this. And like there's been moments of like, holy shit, like what am I doing, you know, in the middle of different countries. And then there's moments where I'm like, oh my God, I'm so happy I've been doing this. I would say as a woman, it wasn't necessarily mantras. I guess it would say like, I would be like, feel your emotions. That's been my biggest tool, is like allowing myself to feel, because that's been my biggest like compass and guide. Whether it's crying or raging or laughing, and like mantras are great, and like being like, okay, you got this, and you know, have chapters like affirmational songs and stuff. But like truly, I think your emotions are going to dictate where you're going, because if you're holding them in, it's like you're going to be stuck in a place that, you know, so it's like
let that energy move
exactly
out, right?
And just like letting the energy move. Hence why I have like energy tattooed on my hand.
I love it. Oh wait, we got one in the exact
we have
same
like cute little hand tats.
It's so similar.
I love it. Those are some of my favorite tats.
Sometimes like if I'm feeling a little bit uncertain, like, I mean, I guess I've done a lot of identity work and reprogramming around like limiting beliefs. And then I consciously bring things back to my awareness to be like, oh no, this is what we're living by, sis.
Yeah.
You know? And so it's like a couple of examples is like the answers arrive on time. Like you actually, you want to know, and I get it. You want to feel safe with the answer. That you think that's what it's going to help you to feel safe, having that control and knowing what the outcome is going to be. But there's meant to be some magic. There's meant to be some mystery like in life, right? Yeah. And a lot of people are like, oh, I need to know like where am I going to stay? Yeah, what fucking country am I going to? Like some people probably listening to this being like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like they're getting anxious listening to this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. And like I get it. Like that's a little bit more of like a little bit further on the spectrum of like trust and like really going
like just
for
see
it.
where
Like,
life kind of takes you.
yeah. And like I hear some people like talk about being like, God, I don't know what I'm doing next year. It's like, you're not meant to know yet.
I didn't
that's
know like a
okay.
few weeks ago, literally what I was like, who I was becoming, especially going through this mother chapter. It was just like, oh my God, like I don't even know how I'm gonna want to show up. Like, do I want to be more of like a mom? Like, is that gonna be my new title? Like known as like the mom who has like information, or which is it's a great title. But you know, yeah, it's just like we're constantly going through these deaths and rebirths. And like at the end of the day, it's like you just have to ride the wave is my biggest thing is like, yeah, like you don't know where that wave's gonna take you. But one of my favorite sayings actually is like, you can't connect the dots looking forward, but when you look back, you can just connect all the dots.
Oh, cool. I like that.
Like, you can, you know, oh, that seed made sense for this. Like it kind of connects, but like looking forward, you're like, I have no idea where what the heck?
I don't know what's gonna happen. And it's okay. Like, I think the key piece in it is just make peace with that. Let that be what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything is as it should be. Like, and if you don't know the answers, if it's unclear, if you want to know, it's okay. Like, let it be that, you know?
Yeah, one thing I will share is like a deeper note that you guys can like dive into is if you're having such a hard time like letting grasp of like wanting to know or the reality or like the control. And like I just had to face that too. Like living in Guatemala was like not my first decision. So that was a big reality change of like, okay, what's the medicine in this? What's the magic? Why am I here? Kind of thing, which turned out being a perfect place of birth and like the whole team here. But that one was a hard one for me to like lose grip on. And I think that's where we actually lose track of like seeing the magic in it and trusting when we're like really trying to like, but it was supposed to be this way, you know? So it's just like really just softening into like adaptation, you know, being a pro adapting to whatever reality you're in. Cause at the end of the day, like we actually have no control. Like it's kind of hilarious when we say we're controlling our lives. Cause like, when you just, like there's no control. So yeah,
exactly. Hey, I want to circle back to like feeling and expressing emotions because so many people have a really hard time with that, you know, like feeling the stuff that doesn't feel so great, right? I mean, I don't really like to say there's positive and negative emotions. There's just emotions, right?
To scale.
Yeah, and there's some that feel better than others, which is great, right? And I think like as a society, we've really been taught not to feel the bad ones sorry, look at me saying that, like taught
the harder ones.
Yeah, the tougher ones. Like we've been taught to kind of avoid them and not go into them and then fear them as a result as well. Yeah. So I wonder, like, when did you learn to feel? And when did you like actually allow that to be a process to kind of sink into?
Oh my gosh. I just remember being like a child of like insane emotions. Like I would have, and I actually would process it a lot alone. Like it wasn't like my parents understood and like we had this beautiful like, okay, like let's go through this, you know. It was like, no, I'd find myself like in my room with all the blanks like over me and just like bawling or like having breakdowns or like even in college, like hiking the mountain in the middle of the night and just like crying because that's where like, my safe place was, you know. But I just knew like felt really so much better after like letting it out. When my dad passed away when I was 17, it was when I think I learned like the depth of grief. And like, you know, grief is a vibration down here, or emotion down here. I'm not gonna say good or bad, but
the frequency is a lot lower.
And emotion, exactly. It's heavy. It's deep. So like I didn't process that right away until probably Costa Rica is when I really got through it. But like the process of that for a few years was like it was hard. It was a lot of pain. But I think, I think just like my journey being someone who's been through a lot of very interesting things in my life and like hardships as we all have, I know I feel better after I fucking cry. And like I used to get into boxing. That was like a big chapter during my processing with my dad. It was like boxing, a lot of like the anger and like the frustration. And as women, like we get taught, it's just like, oh, like go cry, like feel it. No, it's like, no, I've fucking rage in me. Like, you know, like screaming a pillow and like learning this stuff feels good. And actually as women, for us, like men have it too. We're all programmed some way to like not feel a certain emotion. But like as women, it's like rage is like, it's healthy, you know, like love the rage in you, like honor that, because it's also like fire in us to create, right?
Passion.
And like for the masculine, like for them not to be able to like feel like emotions, it's like, that's so wrong too. Like we come out as babies with all these emotions. So it's like, why, like how do we do that?
Yeah. It's like we've been taught to like, this is acceptable, this is not acceptable.
Yeah. One quote that really like helped me, not helped me, it's just like something I love to share, is like, the bigger the stretch we have of pain, the bigger stretch of love we can receive. So that's something that I think we've lost too, is the reason like we don't go as deep or feel as deep anymore. And it's like such surface level love as well. Like the more pain you can experience, the more love and bliss. Like the spectrum's there for a reason, you know? Like I think people are so scared of heartbreak or like feeling this stuff, and forget that like on the other side of it is even like just as much bliss and you know, orgasmic state in all realms of whatever that was.
There's so much medicine in it, right? Yeah. And it's character building.
Yeah.
You can
It sure is.
It's character building, this shit, right? You're going to be somebody different on the other side, somebody that's more aware, somebody that's more compassionate, somebody that's better resourced, you know, not only for yourself and the people that are around you as well. Yeah. And it's like, then from that place, you're going to attract connections where people can kind of meet you there and can see you, right? And you can go deeper there as well.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's like one of my favorite things at retreats or in life in general. And I just see people like being able to like let a cry out or express. And I'm just like, fuck yeah.
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 Right.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow. So what's been, I mean, I might know this answer. This is a guess, but like what's been the biggest transition of life so far for you?
Yeah. I mean, physically, yeah, definitely having a child has been like the biggest transformation. Yeah. You know, it's really interesting. Become a mom. It's like,
do you feel like a mum in a way? Like it's funny. I'm like 31 and I'm like, I don't feel 31. I'm like, how can I be 31?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Is there part of you that's like, how can I be a mum and like you're holding this baby?
Yeah, no, that's definitely 100% where I'm like, I still feel like young Sedona, kind of like I'm living in Guatemala. I'm like, this is my life, you know? And I'm like, wait, no, I'm creating this life. So it's like, and my daughter gets to experience it and like, you know, have this under her belt. So it's super trippy. Like I'm still grounding into the reality of like, yeah, I'm a mom, but it definitely was like the biggest transition I had to go through, like reliving my body again. Cause it's like, yeah, like the morphing and the magic our body creates and then the birth and then like reliving my womb and yoni. Cause it's just like, you know, a whole different new version of them and of her. And, yeah, the biggest transition though is just like, actually, I think this transition has brought me closer home to who I truly am. Like I feel
oh wow, I just got like
yeah.
Oh my God, I want to cry.
Yeah, it's been something coming through really strong with me this retreat too. Like everyone's always kind of called me like, oh, like you're a mom, like you're such a mom, like your mom vibes. You're like a 24-year-old, but like mom vibes. Like I always have the comments like that shit, like weird stuff, you know. And I'm like, what the heck? I'm just like, I just care. Like I just like love holding space for people. I was always a mom, especially in party girl age, you know, like even though I was fucking lit, it was just like, I'm still like, everyone okay? Like,
yeah.
So, you want a shot, sweetie? You know, like, like I was like that.
Anyone need a condom?
Yeah. Yeah.
From that movie.
Yeah, of course. How are we doing in here? Yeah, it's a great one.
It's great.
Anywho, but I feel like this transition, like my daughter has brought me like back more closer to who I'm like meant to be in this world. And one thing I'll share is like the craziest thing when I first felt her kick, it wasn't like a moment of like, wow, oh my God, like the baby just kicked, you know. It was like a deep knowing of it. Like I felt this before. Oh, like as a woman, like I just like felt it happen in my body. And I was just like, oh wow, like I felt that. Yeah, I have a lot of goosebumps on my legs too. Like, hands are standing up. Yeah. So yeah, I think just over this week too, like moving through the fear and mom guilt I had with just some, you know, new identity and like having guilt around like having my kid on social media, which is like such a whatever. That's a whole nother topic. But like it's a topic that's important too, because I feel like my medicine is here to help make positive change. And like we shouldn't like support the people who are like making us live in fear. And like how are we gonna make a change in the world if some people aren't gonna fucking stand up and lead from the front, right?
Yeah.
but yeah, like I think this week I'm settling. I'm like, like falling into this new, like, life gets really shaken up, and then you're like, holy shit, like what's happening? And now I'm like, okay, like I'm kind of like settling into Mama Sedona. Like I really feel grounded in her. I feel, like the onion layers have been peeling off the last 10 years of finding who I am. And I feel just feels really good. It feels really right.
I'm sensing this energy like through you, not I'm when it's like when you're like I'm sensitive, it's like I'm sensing something in you, but it's like am I, or is it just me just feeling something like by being in your presence, about like women becoming a mother, and it's like it really like I don't know if I've got the right language to be able to do justice of what I'm desiring to express. It's kind of like it's like coming home in a way, you know. It's like this is sacred.
Yeah,
like,
it's sacred.
This is like, and I don't think there are words. It's interesting. I feel like I've done some beautiful medicine journeys where I've really connected so deeply to the feminine and like felt like the different archetypes, and like when I've tapped into the mother, I've just been like, ooh, the depth. Like I feel like it really shifts your DNA and like the like really like changes shape of your soul, like everything about you, like your energy, your soul. Like, do you know what I'm?
Everything, girl. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's hard to put words to it.
I don't know how to.
It's really hard to put things that are like what you're trying to say into words. So like, I'm sure the
Other
ones who are out
mums.
there get it, are getting it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like trying to put words to it, it's just like, I don't know. I think as women, we have a deep nurturing sense all the time, and maybe not all of us express it to some degree. Maybe us maybe feel disconnected or never received it. But like even when I was giving birth, there was a part of me that just like wanted to like scream out for my mom.
Aww.
Like it's just like that. Like 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 women literally create life, and like we're the ones who are birthing like all the children on this earth. So it's like I can't even put words into it. I haven't been a long enough. I mean, in this reality, it's only been so recent since like there's years of mothers. Like it's like one of the first things we know for sure that's been happening for God knows who long.
With like your birth and going through labor and like giving birth to your baby, was that kind of like a ceremony and like a medicine experience?
Kinda, girl. Yeah, it was more than I could ever. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Well, just to give context, I did do a full at-home like natural birth, and we did no checkups, no doctors throughout the whole entire journey. So like it was full on trust and like surrenderance and in God's hands and like trusting my body. And it was funny. I thought like the whole time it was gonna be like a ceremony, like just the labor, but like as soon as we knew we were pregnant, which was like right away when we conceived, I knew, like I felt the like light activation with like the sperm and egg. I just like knew I was pregnant.
Yeah.
So since that moment, it was a ceremony, because as soon as that thing, you have a shift in your mind, like I'm pregnant, I'm gonna have a kid. Like this changes like everything in your like way of thinking and like doing and everything. So that was ceremony for 9 months. I was going through so many healings and layers. There was a few times I've been like cried and like screaming in this temazcal of ours, like, like really just like letting it out, talking about releasing your emotions and like deep like traumas that I thought I faced in like independent Sedona chapter. And it was like coming through and just especially being in like a conscious relationship with my partner, Dakota, just like we're very, mirrors to each other and communicative. So like we are all about like allowing ourselves to express. And so yeah, it was a ceremony like for 9 months. And then the actual labor itself, I actually had a really short labor. It was 2.5 hours. Really fast, but really intense. It was all gas and no brakes. And as soon as my water broke, it was just like baby wanted to come out. A lot of like my eyes were closed the like entire time. And like, wow, like the pain just like intensifying, like it is for sure a ceremony. Like if you can't surrender, which I think is one of the biggest things, if I could give any like future mom or any woman who's maybe thinking of a unmedicated, like more natural birth, if you're not like open to surrendering, just like you would be in any type of medicine ceremony, is like, what's your journey going to be like? Right. Like a lot of restriction, like confusion, maybe like a hard trip or like resistance. Yeah. Like, and not allowing yourself to like fully like go. Right. So until you can get there with like birth, like Dakota was like a godsend of just like his voice, like guiding me and like doing a little sacred tobacco, like around like clearing the energy. And it was like so beautiful. I think my biggest thing that got in the way of like fully surrendering was like definitely I was still like very connected to the pain versus like welcoming it and like just kind of like allowing myself to fully leave my body. It wasn't up until probably like 30 minutes until like I had the baby that I was like not there anymore.
Yeah. I guess it came so quick.
Yeah. So
You
like
know?
my body was like shaking and it was just like, wow, like this is like a nervous system shock, of course. And it is for any birth, but like, but there was no breaks at all. I was at one point literally like, can I take a nap? Like I'm so tired. You know, like we put pause, like laughing to myself, like, yeah, just we'll come back to this.
Give me 45.
Yeah. Oh my God. So biggest ceremony yet. And I would say, yeah, like, I don't know if like I mean, who knows if any other bigger, like ayahuasca, I've never even sat with her, but any ceremonies, like, yeah, I think birth was the top one. And it transformed me for sure. I was in the stars when she fully came through. I remember like being inside of my body. Like it was like, I felt like my eyes went whoop and like I just saw her like coming out. Like I knew it was time. And like my midwife was like, I can check. And I'm like, no, like
I know.
it's coming. Yeah. And like, but
Not
it,
necessary.
yeah, like it was, I literally like just saw her going through like the vaginal canal walls, which was like wild. And yeah, we are very powerful beings and we can take that thresh of pain. And I think that's like another thing to it. Like we need to learn to express like pain in our hearts to fully be able to express like full pain in our bodies too. Like we can take so much pain. The world makes us think Band-Aids. We just Band-Aid covered everything, you know? So it's like, now we're tough. We're tough.
We're
Like,
tough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We're made for it.
Yeah.
You know? So,
Oh my gosh. I'm literally writing a book. And it's called You Were Made for This. You were built for this. Similar but different.
Yeah.
I'm not writing it yet. It just kind of came through.
It's coming through. Well, we're going to honor that. And we're built for it, girl. So,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Would you say it was a spiritual experience?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
The whole time we made it a spiritual experience. We treat life as like a ceremonial time. Like Dakota and I are finding gratitude and praying and like thanking God every day. And yeah, like, you know, as soon as our pregnancy started, it was like we did like you know, asking the land for permission to be here and like offering things to land. We had locals come and do ceremony with us, like blessing my belly and doing any cleansing.
That's beautiful.
We had altars up the entire time, you know, anytime like little pictures or any of our angels, like my dad and like family members and like praying to it if anything were to come up, like releasing our fears to the fires a lot. We had fire ceremonies. So like there was a lot of ceremonies happening through the whole ceremony. And it was very spiritual, and I am definitely a spiritual person. Like I'm a very grounded, humble spiritual person. I don't know shit, but I do know that just allowing myself to fully experience the entire ceremony how I did was the most spiritual experience I could have, because like it's a literal death and life portal. Like I'm dying and a baby's being born to come alive. So it's like that. Yeah, it's like life and death in one.
The reason I was asking about that is because I think there's a lot of women that I guess are probably listening to this that are into like curious about spirituality and like getting into like crystals and like angel cards and like, you know, doing little bits and pieces and I think there's probably some women also listening that are mums, right? That have been through childbirth and been like, holy fuck balls.
Like what was it, but can't necessarily like,
Yeah. And I guess I kind of wanted to bring that conversation forward and be like, sis, you probably just had like well, you did. Like you had like a crazy spiritual experience and like an awakening in sorts.
For sure.
You know, through
like,
childbirth.
Definitely connecting with the cosmos in that. You know, there's levels of spirituality.
Of course. What does it mean to you? Because I love to talk about this because I think it can be a very airy fairy thing for some people. It's like
for sure. Yeah.
You know, it's like what does it mean to you?
Yeah, to me it means just like, I think my like tag is Soulful Sedona. You know, like I said, I mentioned I flatlined when I was in second grade, and like I still to this day I'm like I need to go more into that part of my life to like connect to whatever journey I went on. But like since that day in my life, I've always been able to just like be a loving being, no matter like how shitty. Like I've always been able to alchemize like the situation to be like of light, of like good feeling, right? not until I went to Costa Rica and like my yoga teacher training was not like very physical. It was like ceremonies after ceremonies, and like it was amazing, but it was a lot. But it really skyrocketed me into like my spirituality. And of course, I did have my chapters of like, you know, more crystals or like cards, and I still love those tools, but they're not like, it doesn't mean you're spiritual. They're tools to tap into spirituality or maybe help be like a little car to the road.
Yeah.
But I think spirituality to me is just knowing that everything is interconnected, and mushrooms has been a big tool for me to connect to, you know, all. Can we even put really words to what spirituality is? Right? It's a hard one.
Hey, I like to kind of think of it and as like connection to self.
Exactly.
And
it's
like going in and like going in deep. I think that again, there's layers to all of this, all of this stuff, you know? And I think like an invitation to anybody that's listening and that's curious and know that there's something more and doesn't really know what direction to kind of go in, there's going to be something in your awareness. There's going to be absolutely something in your awareness right now that you're like, maybe I should do that. And it might be a retreat.
Oh yeah, it might be a retreat, you guys.
It might be a course. It might be working with someone. It might be a fucking ecstatic dance or a breathwork journey.
It could be literally quitting your 9 to 5 and saying fuck it. And my voice inside told me to do that, but that's what I'm trusting.
Yeah, it might be that.
Yeah.
It might be that. It might be something that doesn't make sense. Like when I moved to Costa Rica, you know, like that didn't make sense to me.
Things that don't make sense make the most sense at the end of the day.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah. I guess like what you're saying and just reflecting is like, the biggest tool that has connected to my spirituality is like my inner compass, my inner key. The golden key is your intuition. Like that is, I would say, like you said, yeah, like yourself. Like you think the world outside that we're looking at is like, wow, there's so much, right? But let's go to the world like inside, because there's even more and so much more. And like, you know, people think we're crazy for the voices you hear or like whatever, but it's like, that's just like source, God, your wisdom,
your ego as well.
Definitely. That's in there too. So how do we humble ourselves and like, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think spirituality is just like tapping into more trust and not being in control and just trusting, like letting go.
And following those little whispers from within. I love that you said the golden keys. That's nice.
Yeah,
I kind of call it like an invisible thread.
Yeah, the thread. That's a good one.
It's just like, doesn't make sense. I just know that that's the direction I've got to go in. And again, remember, we spoke about this earlier. You don't need to know.
No. Yeah. You don't need to know. It's the best. It's actually really fun not knowing. Yeah. One tool I will share with you guys, just because like, you know, it's how like some people are like, how do you connect to your intuition? It's just like,
please.
Like what is that, right? Like we talk about it a lot, but it's like, well, first of all, you gotta make sure like my mind is clear, depending what intuition you're listening to.
Yeah.
But I'm a generator, and I respond by like, I have to feel. And my biggest like learning was to, like, I just take a breath. Breath is the biggest thing here, is like literally slowing down and honestly just like say like, okay, like, do I want to go to the lake today? Like instantly I'm like, no. But if I'm like, oh, like maybe it is really pretty over there. Like, yeah, I guess, you know, a bunch of people are going, like, why am I talking myself into that? My body said no. So like the biggest thing is like listening to that first inner voice that you hear. So it's like anytime you're going through something, a big decision, or like, I always just ask you to like come back to yourself and like just ask, like literally have conversations with yourself and listen
and feel.
Because the more we go to outside people, it's really funny. It's like, hey, like, do you think we should go to the lake today? And if you're like, yeah.
And no.
Yeah, like
actually no.
I'm like, okay, cool. Like me either. But if you're like, yeah, I'm like, fuck, like I don't want to go. But like, you know, it's like we know. You already know. So like, yeah, you already know, and just like trust that like voice right away. The more that you practice honoring your truth inside, is the more powerful you're gonna become in your own
and connecting to your truth inside, right? Like you said, I think it's a very and especially if like, depending on what your childhood was like, you might have been taught to always ask for permission, right?
Yeah.
And that could have been a pattern that's carried on, and you're still doing that today, right?
People pleasing, or like, who's the weirdo in me? I don't know. We're going to push her to the side. You know, it's like there's so many layers to it that we have to work through.
Exactly.
And we support your journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, I love what you said. It's something tangible. It's like, bring your awareness down into your body. So you're breathing down, relax, and then ask yourself and kind of go with that first answer and like feel into it too. Like play with the energy. It's like, oh, does the idea of going to the lake, like a yes, does that feel good? Notice how your body feels. Like notice if it's relaxed, if it's open, and if it's like, ugh. Like
if it locks you up, if it makes you feel lower, it's just like,
that's probably a
honor
no.
that.
Yeah.
Right. Honor it, girl. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yay. Oh, I feel like there's been so many like juicy little nuggets in this conversation. I'm so glad that we've been able to do it, Sedona.
Me too.
How can everyone find you? Tell us.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, tag is Soulful Sedona. And yeah, I'm a, like I said in the beginning, multi-dimensional human. I have just like so much I can give and share. Find me on Instagram if you're really wanting to come and meet in person. We also have a beautiful retreat center that we're at, Maisha Valley. And we host a lot of retreats here, hosting a women's retreat in August. So if everyone does feel called, would love to chat you about that. It's going to be so life-changing. And you can connect your intuition there for sure.
And so many in 2027 also.
Yeah, no, this is just, bioculture has been going for 2 years now. We've hosted 25 retreats. So
that's amazing.
That's an amazing effort.
Yeah, holy smokes.
Big portal. So much gratitude for this journey. And yeah, we'd love to have you guys make magic. I'm here to hold space. I'm here to help you grow.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would love to connect with you guys. So it's been really nice to have you. And Ellie, it's been good to connect with you. I've really enjoyed your presence here. And it's been, again, so nice to have you with Ami and like your little help and your sprinkle of ray of sun you are. You're such a beautiful soul and human. I love Australians as well. Like I was telling Dakota, I'm just like, oh, there's always just something about like beach babe Australians. Like, god damn. They just have like this essence. So it's been really nice that you've been here and listened and trusted. And yeah, I'm happy for us to have this friendship now. And connection.
Too.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Just like, yeah, this is just the beginning. So until we'll see the magic. But
till next time.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
Hopefully you guys got some good tips and medicine out of this. So.
Yeah, hopefully there's been like a little bit of inspiration and it sparked something. Yeah. Whatever was meant to landed. That's what I heard.
And if it's stuck, it's stuck. So
yeah, perfect.
Aho.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Joan.